Okay, good morning everyone. This is the order flows trade review for February 23rd, 2016. My name is Michael Baltos. I'm the founder of orderflows.com. Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing your financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. CFTC Rules 4.41, hypothetical simulated performance results have limitations. Unlike actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No precision is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or loss. This is similar to those shown. Okay, now that the disclaimer is out of the way, this is the trade review for February 23rd, 2016, Tuesday. And, I didn't trade on Monday. I had some issues I had to take care of. And Tuesday coming in, at about 6:30 in the morning, I saw a setup developing in the order flow. And S&Ps were trading up near our highs, and right up near our high, we had a buying imbalance right on the high. That's what this arrow is indicating here. You got the point of controls all lined up right in a row. Then, at this point, I wasn't necessarily convinced that this was the high. I wanted to see a little confirmation. The market started to trade lower. We got negative delta, so obviously the shift in supply and demand had come in, and you're seeing the negative deltas build up. Here you have a single print. It's got the box around it. It stands out. You have the point of controls all lined up here. We're staying below. I felt, it said it's just coming in before 7 a.m. Chicago time. I was looking for a quick pop down, and I got it within a few minutes. I got short here at 33.5, and took it down for a point only. It's not the biggest trade, but I haven't traded since the Friday. This is Tuesday. I wanted to get something on side, get a little something started going for the week. So it's just a quick point. Could have maybe squeezed an extra point out of it, but I just wanted to get something on side and start the week off on a positive note. This is not normally a time I'm looking to trade. The time just before 7 o'clock, going into 7:30. It's just, it's a time when I'm just getting everything set up and ready to go, mentally prepared for the day. Okay, then just going forward to my next trade that happened, I think it was around 9-ish. Where are we here? Okay, so I'll just walk you through what I saw developing here. This is just after 9 o'clock, and we had been trading. This is a 5-range chart. Okay, so I'm sort of seeing where the low was. I always watch it where the low for the cash open is, and the low for the cash open at this point was 31 and what was that, 31.5. This is at 8:33, just after the cash opened. So 31 3/4 actually it is. So that's, for me, that's the low of the day so far. So I'm going to be looking to see what's happening as we're coming back into that low. So where's that low? It's right here at 31 3/4. Now, what I saw developing here was, we're sort of going sideways, after the cash open, and so I'm looking for some sort of clues as to which way the market's going to go. Is it going to sell off, or is it going to rally? And, I said there really wasn't much to go off of. We'd put in a rally at 3 bars going up, then 2 bars going down. It's just sort of back and forth. And then what do I see here developing? I see, a couple of those ratios that I like. This is what my software does. It prints these numbers, these ratios up here, so you can determine if buying is drying up, or, there's a heavier volume at the top of a bar, that these prices up here are going to be rejected. And, just after 9 o'clock, I'm finally starting to see some. I don't really see any, any strength, where they're forming relatively close to each other. Here they're kind of a bit spread out, then, spread out to here. Then you see them two relatively, bunched up together right here. And, we're at the low, and we're not moving away. We got this bar here with very strong delta, positive, but the bars before it are still kind of small, 28, 83, 894. Why aren't we pulling away? Instead, we hit this level here, 265 lots on the offer. It trades, and it can't get past that level, and the market starts selling off. You're starting to see the selling come in, and I know we're coming into that low of where we were at the cash session, just after the cash open at 31 3/4. And I'm looking for us to take out that low. Normally, I'm not big on selling into a low, but I felt this one was pretty safe, and it did have a little bit of a capacity for a move lower. So I got short at 32 1/4, and selling just comes in pretty quick. This is just around 9:05. And I have my bid in to get out at what is that price? 29 1/4. So it's 3 points in 5 minutes. It's a nice quick move, which is what I like to see. I don't like to see go sideways. If we were going to hit that low and sort of bounce up and go sideways when I'm short right in front of it, I'd probably look at it differently and probably think about getting out at a scratch or a small loss or a small profit. But we hit that low. We hit that level at 31 3/4. Right here, and what do you have there? You have the selling imbalance, which is what you want to see if you're going to take out the low. You want to see aggressive selling, and we took out that low. Normally, on a 5-range chart, I'm looking for anywhere between 2 and 3 points. So initially, I'll put in a bid at 3 points below and watch it as it's coming down and see if it's sort of stalling out. But I see there is some buying in there, so I was able to ride it out a bit more down to the full 3 points. It did later sell off quite nicely. Further down to see, what is that, 26, 27. But, I know my capacity as a trader, and I don't like to get that too greedy on a 5-range chart. I'm looking for that move, and it happened, and I'm happy with it. So, with that, those were the 2 trades for the day yesterday. I wasn't able to get any more in, but, it was just a day where, it just sort of, steadily grinding lower. Every time it looked like we're starting to rally off the low, we just get slapped back down. So it was, to get a couple trades early on for some, total of about 4 points is a good trading day. So thank you. That's the end of this quick video for the trade recap for today. To learn more about trading order flow software that I use in this video, be sure to visit my website, orderflows.com. It's the only, I created the software based on my own order flow analysis. The other software that was on the market didn't quite do what I needed it to do as far as reading the order flow. So visit www.orderflows.com to learn more. Thank you.